For years, the Central Intelligence Agency has used unmanned aerial vehicles or drones to target terrorists in Iraq, Afghanistan, Pakistan, and Yemen. American NGO, the Stimson Center, released a report that outlines recommendations to ensure that U.S. drone policy is in fact transparent. CCTV's Jim Spellman is here now with more on that. A lot of people are talking about this, Jim.
I'll say, especially here in the United States, there are people who feel that drones are really the ideal weapon system. They're difficult to detect, precise, they have a long operational range, and very low risk since there's no pilot. But a new report warns that continued reliance on unmanned aerial vehicles presents many challenges and could lead to what the report calls continual or wider wars. The report from the nonpartisan Stimson Center says drones should be neither glorified nor demonized, that they are not a U.S. superweapon and have many potential hazards, possibly creating new strategic, legal, and ethical risks, including an erosion of international norms as borders are routinely ignored, blowback from civilian deaths, even though the report finds drones don't cause any more civilian deaths than conventional aircraft, and fears of what the report calls a slippery slope, low-cost, low-risk drone missions possibly leading to endless war. The report also questions whether drone strikes have kept any terror groups in check and suggests they could actually inspire greater extremism. Douglas Smith sharply disagrees. He is a former U.S. Department of Homeland Security official in the Obama administration. He says drones are indeed a deterrent.
What these drones have done and the way, particularly the Obama administration has used them, as to tap down, particularly Al-Qaeda and the Arabian Peninsula, it really makes them stop and think. Do we really want to go out there because they know these drones are there?
Last year, U.S. President Barack Obama acknowledged the hazards of drone use and pledged more transparency.
The very precision of drone strikes and the necessary secrecy often involved in such actions can end up shielding our government from the public scrutiny that a troop deployment invites.
But the report calls for the U.S. to acknowledge targeted drone strikes with both the U.S. Congress and the public, and calls for a review and cost-benefit analysis of drone use. Smith says they aren't perfect, but drones are here to stay.
War is messy, and tragically, wars are going to continue. Perhaps these drones will help to make them more surgical, lessen the chances of civilian casualties, while maximizing the chances of taking out the bad people you want to.
The report says that in the near future, more types of weapon systems will be used with drones, and that soon autonomous drones, machines that can make their own decisions, will come online. It also says that multiple drones will be able to work together, forming what it calls a combat cloud. The more this technology evolves, the more a framework of laws and guidelines is really needed here, I'll say.
Jim, the whole idea of a combat cloud sounds a little scary to me, but is there any doubt that the drones are here for good, here to stay?
No doubt at all. These will be here to stay, not only in the U.S. and around the world. What critics really say is that leaders here in the United States, they've taken into account all of the tactical issues with drones, and they like them, but they haven't considered the wider implications for U.S. foreign policy of using these drones. That's a more difficult thing to come up with approaches for than it is to just use it as a military tool.
Jim Spellman, thank you so much.